Hey everybody, it's Carol Billing, and I want to talk to you a little bit about pictures in Microsoft Word. The new version of Word has some pretty cool features I'm going to cover. So first off, I need to make sure that you understand what a pixel is. A pixel is a single dot of color, and so every inch of your monitor or your TV set has tiny little dots of color, and when they're put together correctly it makes a single picture. So with that in mind, the more dots you can stick in an inch, the better resolution or the better the picture is going to look. So we have two acronyms that you might find, DPI, which is dots per inch, and PPI, pixels per inch. And so DPI deals specifically with the output of your printer. How many dots per inch does your printer print out? And then PPI is actual number of pixels per inch in your image. So the higher the PPI, the higher quality of the image on your screen or on your TV set. So when you're talking about DPI and PPI, you're really talking about resolution. And so here, the resolution number, you want it to be as high as it can be, or as high as you can afford if you're shopping. And the higher resolution equals a sharper picture, because it's more dots or pixels per inch. Okay, so when I have just a sample syllabus in here, and I've got one image already in here. I'm going to put my cursor down here. I'm going to turn on my non-printing characters because I hate it when I have a big white spot and I don't know where I'm clicking. So there's my non-printing characters, my nice hard return there so I can see. I'm going to insert a picture. And I put a folder here on my desktop that's called Pictures for Demo. And I've got 3 pictures I'm going to put in here. So this first one's going to be big. And so let's shrink it down. I grab the corner to shrink it down because I don't want to change the ratio. If you went this way, it's going to make the fish really wide. I'm going to hit Control Z on my desktop to undo that. And then here we go, let's make them a little smaller. So there's a fish, and this file is what's called a JPEG, JPG. That's what the file type that's the most common. I've also grabbed a BMP. A BMP is usually it has more memory, requires more memory, so it's just a bigger file. So you won't see BMPs used very often unless you scan in a picture and you want it to be a really high quality picture. So you can see when you hover over the picture it says that one's a bitmap image, which is a BMP. And to be honest, I don't recall why that was saved as a BMP, but it was. So we'll squish that guy up a little bit. And the last one I'm going to do is a PNG. And you can Google each one of these terms and get more information about each one of them. I honestly don't remember. They're just different types of file formats for images. So PNG here. And this one's really small. Okay, so you've already seen me resize it by clicking on it and grabbing the sides. You can also rotate it by grabbing this green guy. And you also can crop it. And I love to crop because it can you can just tighten things up a little bit. I crop all my pictures before I put them on Facebook because there might be some background stuff that I don't really want to share. No one needs to see my dirty kitchen. They just need to see my adorably cute kid with chocolate all over his face, right? So that's how I use the crop, and I use it fairly often. You'll notice that now that I clicked off of the image, I lost my Picture Tools contextual tab. So to get it back, I have to click on the picture, and now I've got it Picture Tools format. The reason I left this image on here is because, let me show you, this looks different. You see that the bar here, it changed. So that's the Picture Tools format for this particular image, but when I click here on a different image, I get a different toolbar. And so that can be really confusing, and why did that happen? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I have a theory. This image was on a document that was an older document. The original document was a 97 to 2003 Word document that I inserted into this current document. So this image is a little bit older, but I think it's the fact that it was in an old document that somehow changes it. These came straight into the new document and they have the new bar. This is the old bar, and you can tell because the shadow effects are, well, they're kind of lame. And if you look here on these shadow effects are pretty cool. So point of story would be when you have an image and it comes up like this, I think it has something to do with the date of the image possibly, because this is a PNG and this image is a PNG, and I'm still getting the right bar with that one. So I haven't really narrowed down to anything but just maybe the file that it was on was older. So if you open up a file that was made in 97 through 2003 and you don't save it as a newer file, excuse me, that you're working in it and the computer is remembering it as an older file, you're going to get that older toolbar. I guess that's the point of the story. So let's go here and take a look at what you can do in the Picture Tools contextual tab. They have this cool thing called Remove Background, and this is pretty awesome. So you can change this around a little bit, like really tighten it in on the picture, and then when I click off of it, the background goes away. I have a fish swimming in midair. So pretty slick. That is, again, background. You have corrections to improve the brightness and all that. You can change the color of an image. You see this sometimes on Facebook. People do this to their profile picture, or more commonly you'll see them do some sort of artistic effect, and if you click this down here you're going to have even more options. So those are kind of fun to play with. I don't compress pictures very often. Change picture would be just to take the fish and it would switch it with a different picture. Reset picture is helpful because you can reset the picture to size or just reset the picture. If I went to size, it would have made it huge like it was when it first came in. Okay, my favorite is Picture Styles, because you have all these different ways to modify the way the picture looks. I really like that one. It's one of my favorites. You can add a border with lots of different lines, and here you can even go for more lines. Picture Effects, again, you can modify. So Picture Styles is really like a hybrid of all of these options. They pick the border for you, they pick the effect for you, and they preset some styles. So I like them because they're fast. But if you want to do them individually, you could do it there. Okay, and this will convert your picture to a smart art graphic, which we'll get into that maybe more a little bit later. I tend to do more smart art with PowerPoint rather than Word, but smart art you can do in both programs, and I'm sure it works the same. I just usually use it in PowerPoint. Okay, position has to do with how the image is put on the whole page. So let me get rid of a couple things. Alright, I'm going to show you something here on the PNG. That image is really small, and let's say, oh, you know what, I want a big circle. I want a big happy face. No, it's not your eyes. That is actually really, really blurry. And what's happened here, let me put it back because that kind of hurts my eyes. Size, position, and I've blown it up to 1000% of its original size. So let's put that back to 100. I hit tab and it automatically sets everything to 100. Oh, much better. Okay, so when something is made big like that and it's fuzzy, it's called pixelating. And a pixelation occurs when those dots per inch are stretched beyond 100%. Because once it goes past 100%, the computer has to guess what color should go next to it. And so that's why you get the blurriness, is the computer says, oh, well, this was yellow and this was yellow, so we'll just put yellow in between and think it's right. And the picture gets blurry. So that's that one. Okay. Now, picture position. Click on the picture here, get our contextual tab back, and you can put it in lots of different places on the page, and it'll wrap the text around it. And that, put it below. You can't really see where it is. There we go. You can also wrap the text differently. So right now it's in square, but it could go tight. You can have it go through it. That didn't work. Oh, there it was. Through it. I did it a second ago. Top and below, behind it. How is behind and through different? They look very much the same to me. Interesting. Anyway, mostly you go with square. You also have the option to layer different objects on top of each other. You can align pictures, like put them all to the top or center them. In a line, you can see how they're stacked in a row right there. So those are buttons you can play with a little bit. Rotating. You can see it's rotating or flipping it. So that's kind of cool. Cropping we've done already. And you have your size dialog box right here, which comes up. It's got position, text wrapping, and size all in the same one. And those are exactly the same as what you're seeing right here. But some people like to right click, and if you do, you can pick it up right here. Size and position, same dialog box, position, text, and size. Alright, I think that's a lot of information, so I want you to grab a Word doc and a couple pictures and start playing. I'll see you in class.